Hey, what's going on, guys? Buttabar here. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the patch notes that got released today with the update that Infinity Ward pushed out for Modern Warfare. If you are looking for something that is anything that is worthwhile, at least with this patch and then the patch notes, nothing at all yet. I know there's been a lot of promises up and towards the end of November that a lot of different changes are going to be coming to multiplayer. That has me excited. However, I mean, really, we gotta wait all the way to the end of November. Again, I think there's a lot of these issues that were in this game that I have to really think that somebody saw something and just pushed it out regardless. And that's just me. I really do think that with this much pushback against the multiplayer right now and the fun factor of the game, where I would say a majority of the audience is not having fun with it, I really do feel like something happened in the process of getting this game released that just nobody said anything. Everybody was yes men, and nobody actually said a word about some of the issues that is actually affecting this game right now. So in today's video, we're gonna go over just some of the patches. Again, this is really nothing that's really worthwhile. That's just like, oh my god, that's amazing. These are more changes of just fixing crashes, fixing improvements with bugs and whatnot. And also too, we're gonna talk about some of the later ideas that they want to push out for a multiplayer to actually just do this a giant change or expansion onto the multiplayer. Again, nobody knows exactly what this is. There are some hints here and there about some changes coming to the game, but really, there's nothing, man. There's nothing. You have to work really hard to have fun in this game, and right now, man, two guns are dominating this game. And we'll probably get into that later on. So, all right, let's talk about some of the patch notes that got released today. So, first off, with this patch that got pushed out today, it's supposed to help prevent some of the crashes that some people are facing. And I know I checked on Twitter. I think PS4 was actually facing some crashes today. So I don't know if this update changed anything for PlayStation 4 players. I know Xbox was having a lot of crashes, so hopefully this patch actually fixes to where you can actually play the game and your console and your game will not crash. There's also fixed some improvement stabilities across all platforms. Again, I don't know. We'll see in the next couple of days if this actually fixed anything, but at least for today, I haven't really seen too much besides some PlayStation 4 drama. Battle chatter. Let's talk about battle chatter. I'm reloaded. There's enemies over here. Where? You were calling this stuff out, and I can't. I got a door in front of me. I got a door right in front of me. Can't see it. You're saying there's enemy contact. I don't see a goddamn thing except for the door. So apparently that is being removed from tactical game mode, so search and destroy and stuff like that. Apparently there are plans to be of that being removed completely from the game. Now, I don't know if that is going to be something to where they just remove it entirely or they just don't allow the enemy players to hear it. So I know it even talks in like later updates. That's going to be one of the things where people cannot, the enemy will not be able to hear battle chatter. So your teammates will be able to communicate. However, hopefully the way that it's supposed to go is that the enemy is not supposed to hear that. So I know that'll be in a later fix before the end of November, at least for right now. In tactical mode, search and destroy and stuff like that, you will not be hearing the battle chatter whatsoever. APCs and tanks in ground war, which again has just been the bane of my existence right now in ground war, because it's just so annoying the way it was, where they were set up as you could actually get into a tank, get 30 kills, and actually get the nuke. It was so dumb, and I don't know how this stuff made it through to this part. So tanks and APCs, they will not be able to actually gain a nuke. You know, all the kills that they equivalent, they're not going to actually get that. Supposedly, we'll see. But the one thing that still has me frustrated, again, if APCs and tanks are not going to be able to get a nuke with their kills, but they're still able to actually get quite amount of points to the point man perk. So I honestly think that you should get more points as a player, you know, on foot instead of a tank and an APC. You know, that's just me. I feel like that might be a little harder to get some points if you're on foot instead of a tank. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe we'll see some changes to that later on. But hopefully, at least when it comes to APCs and tanks, point man is not as effective as it is right now when it comes to getting your score streaks. Let's talk about this. the charms that you have on your weapon right now. I got the good dog or whatever from the all the different kill chains and whatnot, and the quad feeds and blah blah blah. That's actually fixed now. It used to be if you equipped a charm to your weapon, it actually increased the spread of your hip fire. Now that is not a bug anymore, so you actually should have some pretty good hip fire. So again, I don't know how that affected this game with the charm increasing the hip fire spread, but again, it's just weird stuff like that I don't know how in the world this got through. Let's talk about Claymore. Stun grenades can now force the Claymore to be disabled for 3 seconds. So I think this was funny. We were posting up on Twitter. I saw Thunder actually post this as well. The stun grenades are now just going to be a now required thing. Right now, required things are Ghost, M4, the 725, stun grenades. It's just funny to know of all the required stuff you have to have in here to be competitive, to have fun, and to actually push and be aggressive. And to me, I want to see some changes to the M4, man. I hate using it, and that's what drives me crazy. I see a lot of people using it. It drives me crazy to have to use it because it's the only weapon that I feel like is very competitive, no matter what range you are at. And I hate it because I want to use other guns. It's just you don't get the same effectiveness really from any other guns from the M4. So to me it's just kind of annoying. It's I don't know. Hopefully later on weapon balances planned to actually be put into effect, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Last two things I want to talk about. Footsteps, adjustments to tame the third-person footstep. They will now be filtered out based on a... okay, this is... Footsteps, man. Some type of change came to Footsteps. Footsteps are still the same. And this is one thing, it's funny. I play Ground War, and I say that sometimes I can't hear footsteps. I totally get it now. In 6v6, 10v10, you literally can hear people from a mile away. It is insane on how it goes. I know it's different in Ground War, at least my experience, but when it comes to 6v6 and 10v10, it is insane to see how loud the footsteps are, and I hopefully that does get changed, and they're a little tamed down a little bit. But I think that goes for the entire game audio. I think there's a lot of stuff in this game that is just super loud, and I hope a lot of it gets changed because, man, after a while, it's just like my ears are bleeding because there's so much noise all the time. Last thing I want to talk about, there's a fix that, I thought this was funny, there's a fix to an issue that the tack insert could cause players to spawn out of bounds. Now, I've seen several gameplays of this where people would use their their tack insert and it actually spawned them on the enemy side behind enemy lines, and they would just either get killed or they would just constantly die because there was not enough time for them to actually run back into bounds. So that's been fixed now, and it's just funny to know, like, stuff like that. Again, there's a lot of things in here, stuff like that of tack insert working in weird ways. I'm still wanting to know, how did that get passed for all the development, all the years, all the months and weeks leading up to this game's release? Certain stuff like that, it just makes me curious, like, how in the world did stuff like that get past the creative process into the game when it released. So, alright, now let's talk about some of the changes that we're supposed to be seeing here in the next couple of weeks towards the end of November, and hopefully it's sooner than that. So, one of the biggest changes that they plan on making is actually bringing back the normal mini-map. Again, I don't know, I understand that they want to try something new with the mini-map. However, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's at least my mentality about it. The minimap was great in other Call of Duty games. Nobody bitched, griped, or complained about it. So in this game, you're having a lot of people say negative things about the minimap. So it might be a good idea to actually bring back the minimap. And again, also too, I feel like UAV, personal UAV, the personal radar and the UAV are crutch. You have to have them in order to be able to get some type of map awareness. But also too, Ghost is used constantly all the time, and there's nothing to counter it whatsoever. So if map awareness is at least a little bit there with having at least a normal minimap where people shoot and you kind of know the flow of the map, you kind of know where to maneuver, well, that will fix a lot of the issues that people are having. But it will be interesting to see what a normal minimap will do on this game. Let's talk about some of the challenge system fixes. So I definitely have been experiencing this as well. I think it was the best of the best challenge mission that I was doing, and that thing was definitely bugged out, but I was at least able to finish it. So right now, if you are trying to do a challenge, it might not track it on screen, but from what I've at least experienced is that it will track it as you're making your progression through. Sometimes they will be deactivated, so you'll need to go back and reactivate some of the challenging missions. However, they should be tracking, even though they might not visually say it on your screen. So just kind of be aware of that, and it's just kind of one of those things. It's just, again, really weird that something like that has occurred in this game. Let's talk about weapon tuning. Now, again, this is one thing that they plan on pushing out later in the future for November, but again, there's a lot of weapons in this game currently that, honestly, I don't really see too many people use. The SCAR, AK-47, the FAL, I mean, some of the SMGs. Right now, the only guns that are really viable, medium and close range, M4, 725. Hell, I've been sniped by the 725, and it's insane to know that. I mean, I literally have a double barrel over under shotgun just like the 725, and I'm gonna tell you right now from personal experience, that thing ain't gonna kill somebody from that far away. It is insane to see the range that that weapon has, and I cannot believe, again, a shotgun like that is just, it's so goofy. So hopefully some changes come to the 725. Hopefully, just small nerfs to the M4, because I want weapons to be competitive. If it's a slow firing rate, but it's a very powerful round like the 7.62 from the SCAR or the AK-47, I want it to function like that. 2 or 3 hits, bam, dead. M4 that has, in the kilo, that has 5.56 and maybe a 4 or 5 hit round because it has such a fast firing rate. To me, it's just one of those things that's just so weird. Again, I understand that Infinity Ward wanted to have overpowered weapons, but the balance-wise of it, it's just so strange and just does, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It feels just so lame that you have to use the same weapons over and over again if you want to be competitive, if you want to do well. So hopefully we'll see some change with that. Last thing is spawns. I think the spawn logic in this game is just really funky. I know somebody commented in my last video about spawning on your friendlies, and that I totally understand. Sometimes you spawn on friendlies, you get shot. You do have the caution thing. Use caution when you're spawning on this person. However, I've had several instances where spawning on a point in ground war where I'm immediately getting shot. So I'm spawning on B or C or wherever. I'm immediately getting demolished by a tank or somebody that's already watching a certain area. So hopefully some more more updates and changes come to spawns. But right now, they are still pretty rough. So guys, it's November, man. The games have been out for about over a week, over a week and a half, sorry. And it's very funny to see kind of where the community is at right now with Modern Warfare. I think a lot of people were anticipating it. I wasn't definitely anticipating it. I will say this. I think there's times where I have a lot of fun in this game, but I'm pretty much using the exact same thing that everybody else is using, and it just, to me, I don't find that fun. I don't find that entertaining. I want to make and create different loadouts that are fun and interesting and unique, but right now, I mean, there is a lot of things that are just crutch stuff. Gotta have UAV, you gotta figure out where hell people are at, you gotta have Ghost, stay off the radar. M4 is dominant, S25 is dominant, so, or the 725 is dominant, so it's just a lot of things that are crutch stuff that you have to have in this game to be successful, and hopefully we'll see some changes. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully some of the changes that came to this allow you to play and your game is not crashing, so hopefully you're able to enjoy it, and let me know in the comments below what kind of changes that you want to see in November when the updates do come out. Have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time.